The BTR-60 is one of the iconic weapon systems of the First Cold War. It takes its name from the abbreviation Brani Transporteur, meaning armored carrier, and 1960, its production year. Today, we're investigating the BTR-60, the 8x8 wheeled armored vehicle that fought in almost all corners of the world whenever the Western and Eastern blocs confronted each other. The BTR-60 Armored Personnel Carrier, or shortly APC, is a true veteran who has fought on 4 continents. Thanks to its practical design, it became the basis for the follow-on Soviet 8x8 armored vehicles. The BTR-70 and BTR-80 were nothing but simply improved versions of the BTR-60. Even though its glory days are now over, this APC keeps fighting in many hot spots of the world. The story of the BTR-60 goes back to the mid-1950s. In those years, the Soviet Army decided to convert all rifle and mechanized division into motor rifle divisions. Yet the existing BTR-152, which was basically nothing but a non-amphibious armored 6x6 truck, was unsuitable for the new tactical transformation. It could not follow tanks in the fields. To solve this problem, the Soviet engineers initially designed the experimental BTR-152V in 1957. Even though this version had much better cross-country mobility, the result was still insufficient. So, the Soviet Army required a new wheeled APC to replace the BTR-152. Two design bureaus, GAZ and ZU, were the main competitors for this requirement, called Project 49, and offered their 8x8 Type 62B and 6x6 ZU-153 vehicles respectively. Also, KAS and MMZ developed their separate prototypes. The Soviet Army had initially wanted a vehicle with a fully closed hull and a CBRN protection system. However, the Type 62B of GAZ had an open roof. Yet the company convinced the Army staff that firing from the closed and cramped interior would be difficult and the limitation of losses was not a priority. During the 1959 state trials, the Object 1015B developed by KAS performed the best. However, the Soviet Army selected the GAZ design for many reasons. First, this company had much better production capabilities and experience than KAS. Second, the GAZ design was the cheapest, and it had the fewest technological advancements, which made it easier to produce in large numbers. In 1960, GAZ, today's Arzamas machine building plant, began the serial production. The same year, the new APC, designated as the BTR-60P, was introduced to the Soviet Army service. The BTR-60P were produced for the motorized rifle divisions, which had 417 vehicles for each. The Western eyes saw it for the first time during the November 61 parade in Moscow. Except for a few of them, like Albania and China, nearly all communist and pro-Soviet countries adopted the BTR-60 into their service. The vehicle's production was completed in 1976 after around 25,000 pieces were delivered. The hull is all-welded steel armor resistant against small arms fire and shell splinters. The initial BTR-60P variant has an open roof, which made it unprotected to the attacks from the top. Besides, this version has no CBRN protection. The later BTR-60PA variant, which entered service in 1963, has complete overhead armor protection for the troop compartment and is fitted with a CBRN filter. The infantry embarks and disembarks the BTR-60P from the open top. So, when disembarking the vehicle, the troops must leap nearly 2 meters and are vulnerable to enemy fire. Still, 2 half doors on each side of the BTR-60P make this process relatively easier. The situation is worsened on the BTR-60PA. The half doors on the sides were removed in this version, so all troops have to climb to the vehicle's top before leaving it. Even though the latest BTR-60PB has 2 side doors, leaving the vehicle under fire is still extremely inconvenient and unsafe for the infantry. The BTR-60P and PA can be equipped with the pintle-mounted 7.62mm SGMB or PKB or 12.7mm Dishaka M machine gun. So, even though the BTR-60PA has a closed hull design, The gunner has to open the hatch to operate the machine gun. In this situation, the vehicle loses the CBRN protection. To solve this problem, the BTR-60PB variant, which entered production in 1965, is fitted with the turret of the BRDM-2. The second factor in this modification was that the APC needed more firepower to deal with the West German HS-30 with a 20mm autocannon. In 1966, the BTR-60PB, which had a better sighting system for the machine guns, replaced the BTR-60PB in the production line. The turret has a 360-degree traverse angle. It is manually operated and armed with a 14.5mm KPB machine gun and a 7.62mm PKT machine gun mounted coaxially to the right. The weapons have an elevation depression angle between -5 and +30 degrees. The late production BTR-60PBs have the same sighting improvement as the BTR-70, a small additional periscopic sight on the turret roof. All APC variants have 3 firing ports on each side, allowing the infantry to fight under armor. The BTR-60 has 2 8-cylinder water-cooled petrol engines mounted at the rear of the hull. The first and third axles are powered by the transmission of the right engine, whereas the second and fourth axles are powered by the transmission of the left engine. Separate engines with separate transmissions almost double the maintenance requirement. Still, thanks to this design, if one engine fails or is damaged, the vehicle keeps moving by using the power of the other. The other complication is that gasoline fuel can be exploded in case of a hit, unlike diesel fuel. The first 4 wheels are used for steering. The BTR-60 can be driven with 1 wheel missing from the second axle. The APC has a central tire pressure regulation system, enabling the driver to adjust the tire pressure, which gives the vehicle excellent cross-country mobility. The BTR-60 is fully amphibious and is propelled in the water by a single water jet mounted at the rear of the hull. All variants have infrared night vision equipment and a front-mounted winch with a maximum capacity of 4,500 kilograms. The BTR-60PB's 2-person crew consists of a commander and driver. The vehicle, which can also carry up to 14 infantry, has a length of 7.56 meters, a width of 2.83 meters, and a height of 2.31 meters. Its combat weight is 10.3 tons. Two 90 horsepower Gas 49B petrol engines provide a road speed of 80 km per hour. Its range is 500 km. The BTR-60PB can negotiate 0.4 meter vertical steps and 2 meter trenches. It is amphibious with a water speed of 10 km per hour. The BTR-60PB has one 14.5mm KPV and one 7.62mm PKT machine guns. The BTR-60 has numerous sub-variants for motor carrier, repair, maintenance, command, artillery forward observer, artillery fire direction center, communications, air defense command, signal, radio delay station, battery charger, switchboard, base security, and telephone cable layer missions. Also, it has many modernized or modified APC versions. We will mention only some significant ones to keep our video short and sweet. Algeria, Bulgaria, Israel, Russia, Turkey, and Ukraine have developed modernized versions by replacing the petrol engine of the vehicle with a diesel one. Some Cuban BTR-60s are fitted with the turret from the BMP-1. Yet, the most intriguing modification executed in this country is to mount a modified T-55 turret onto the BTR-60PB. Cuba also developed the self-propelled anti-aircraft gun variants of the vehicle with the Russian 23mm Zu-23-2 and 37mm M1939, Czechoslovakian 30mm PLDvK vzor 53, and Romanian 30mm Model 80 guns. Similarly, Iran uses its unique modified BTR-60 versions. The Sedad is the BTR-60PB with a 23mm Zu-23-2. The Haydar-6 is equipped with the turret from the BMP-1. The Haydar-7 has explosive reactive armors and a new remotely controlled turret with a single-barrel 23mm autocannon. The Aghareb is fitted with the 90mm gun from the M47 patent tank. Besides, Iran developed the Shahram CBRN detection lab and the Haydar 5 mine layer versions. Moldova also replaced the standard turret of the BTR-60PB with a single-barrel 23mm autocannon. Mexico acquired some civilian variants of the BTR-60 and converted them to APC for its Naval Infantry Corps' use under the designation of APC-70. Ethiopia, Djibouti, and Yemen operate the BTR-60 with the turret of the AML-90, armed with a 90mm gun and a 7.62mm coaxial machine gun. The Romanian TAB-71 is similar to the BTR-60PB but has more powerful 140 horsepower engines and horizontally positioned exhaust pipes. Besides, its improved turret allows the gun to fire at a nearly 90-degree angle. Its predecessor, the BTR-70, can be described as the improved version of the BTR-60PB. Since the 1960s, the BTR-60 has fought in almost all corners of the world. Its first operational use happened during the Warsaw Pact 1968 invasion of Czechoslovakia. Yet, the APC was baptized with fire in the other corner of the world. It served during the Sino-Soviet border conflict on Chempao Island in March 1969. Even though it suffered high losses due to the large number of RPGs used by the Chinese, the Soviet army was pleased with the general performance of the BTR-60. Later, the APC served in the Soviet-Afghan War. The hot climate in the mountainous Afghanistan was a real challenge for the APC's gasoline engines, which experienced frequent power losses and overheating problems. Besides, the elevation angle of the main gun was insufficient to deal with the Mujahideen attacking from the high ground. Still, the BTR-60 had an acceptable level of protection against landmines laid by the Afghan resistance. The BTR-60's career in the Arab armies was not bright. They fought but suffered significant losses in the 1973 Yom Kippur War. For example, during the Syrian attack on the Golan Heights, the Israeli soldiers destroyed more than 200 of them within 3 days. The BTR-60 also served in Angola. During the Angolan border war, the Cuban and Soviet military missions in this country frequently used the BTR-60 for general liaison purposes. It was sort of an armored VIP transporter for them. Many Angolan BTR-60s fought during the Battle of Caeto Cunafole. The South African Defense Forces destroyed at least 65 of them. On September 9, 1987, a South African Rottol knocked out a BTR-60 while it was carrying out a reconnaissance mission around the Lomba River. Before the US invasion in 1983, Grenada had acquired 10 BTR-60s. During Operation Urgent Fury, a US AC-130H gunship aircraft destroyed 3 of them. During the dissolution of the USSR, the BTR-60 fought in almost all states that newly gained their independence. It is still fighting in the ongoing Russo-Ukraine war. The BTR-60 has been an icon of the communist bloc like the MiG-21 or AK-47. Its career was not as bright as an armored infantry fighting vehicle since this APC was not created for this job. However, the BTR-60 has always been a good troop carrier and a true legend. Thanks for watching our video. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the bell button to be notified of our new videos. Also, you can now click the join button to support our channel. And as always, we would greatly appreciate all of your likes, comments and shares.